Two moms, too much coffee, tired eyes but hearts so full. Thanks for tuning in with us. Hope you brewed a cup for you.
Hi guys, welcome back to Two Moms, Too Much Coffee. This is Giselle, and we also have
Hey, it's Tempest.
a Tempest.
Hey.
I would say how are you, but the holidays are coming up, so I already on
Yes.
probably stressed.
Yeah. I actually also want to say my birthday is coming up. So just, one plug for my birthday. But agreed. Holidays are coming up. And it is trying to navigate two kids now is interesting. There are so many different expectations that are around that I was not experiencing the first time.
Mm,
So I'd love to get into that.
Yes, I'm actually glad that you said that. So I really wanted to talk about holidays. It's obviously my first time being a mom. And I feel like expectations in general has been a big, I wouldn't say issue, but just like a big challenge that we're kind of coming across. So I would like to hear a little bit more about like your expectation, like how that has changed with you having two, and then how it was different with Abel when you just had Abel, and like kind of how that went.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is because we have a 3-year-old and a not even 1-year-old,
Mm.
it's like we have to manage like, oh, Santa, and we celebrate Christmas for people listening, but we have to go like, okay, here's Santa. And then we have one kid that's like on such a schedule that it doesn't matter and she has no idea what's going on.
Mm,
And so I'm navigating like how to have a bunch of gifts for one kid and like not a bunch for another.
mm, yeah.
I think that that's, like, really hard for me right now because Abel's first year of life, or my oldest first year of life, he was very young for his first holiday, but even for his second holiday, he was still kinda too young to really know what's going on, and
Mhm.
so we didn't really do a lot of gifts. I think he may have gotten, like, a re-gift of something he already played with. Like, we just really didn't, like, change much. We're all just doing our normal thing. And so it is really interesting now to see that now we have to like have like the whole like Christmas spirit and holiday spirit and everybody's like happy, like, oh my God, Santa, like things like that that I just didn't have to do before.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, because your first he was 2 months?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very different compared to
Hmm.
now where you can just pretend to go on without go on with your day and, what's Christmas? Which
Exactly.
actually we could even do that now with 11 months old. They're not 11 months yet, but 2 days.
Yeah.
So 10-month-olds, and I feel like that's been hard for me, I think. I think holiday and even birthday, like understanding like she's not gonna remember a lot, but
Hmm.
also for myself, like I think I'm hard on myself as a like in general, but also as a mom. So like calming down what my expectations are of how I want the holidays to go. So I'm like, "Oh, I want them to be absolutely perfect, and, I want her to have this gift, and I want her to have this, and I want her to have this experience," when she's literally not gonna remember anything. And so, like, a reminder to myself, like, it's okay.
Hmm.
She's gonna wanna play with the wrapping paper. She's gonna want like, yeah, the lights are exciting, but she's not gonna remember any of that. Um, so yeah, I feel like for me, I'm kinda excited to be in, like, next year's, which I don't wanna, like, fast forward this, but to see how different it is when she is closer to 2 years old versus closer to 1 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it'll be a very big difference. Mostly, I
Mhm.
mean, they can use their hands and walk at that age. So it's like definitely, if anything, they can, unwrap some stuff, which is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, it definitely, it's so like, I mean, I feel just the expectation of Christmas with the little kid is always like, oh, we're gonna make this big hoopla and they're just gonna love it so much. And then, they're small. And so
Yeah.
it's definitely an interesting dynamic. But
Mhm.
I also think the really fun thing is when you incorporate family into it. So like, your own personal family, but also like in-laws.
Mhm.
That makes it even more complicated for
Mhm.
sure. Do you know what your plans are for your Christmas with the in-laws?
I feel like we had to literally, like, set expectations with our like, my mom, like, with our family across the board, like, We used to always spend Christmas with my family and Thanksgiving with Nick's family. And with Naya, we were like Nick's Colombian, so he really wanted to involve his culture a lot more for the holidays. They celebrate the night before. And so that's something that we're switching. And now we're actually my whole family. So my mom, my sister's partner, like my nephew, we're all going to Nick's families the night before, which is very new.
Yeah.
And my mom, love you, mom, but my
Mhm.
mom's like, I want to be with Naya every Christmas. And when we were first trying to like figure this out, I had told her like, we're going to start spending Christmas with Nick's family, like, because Naya also needs to be able to have that experience with my in-laws. And so that was like a transition that we're having. So now instead of like her missing out on Naya and anyone else, we're just all doing it all together. And so we'll be navigating that for the first time. So we're going to be spending Christmas Eve with his family and then Christmas Day back at my home with my family. So very new,
Mhm.
and we'll see how that goes. 'Cause-
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that it's actually really I love that both families are willing to have both families together.
Mhm.
It's gonna be an interesting dynamic, I'm sure, but it's really cool to be able to I'm sure Naya growing up is gonna be like, "Wait, you guys all don't have, like, both families together
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
hang out on Christmas Eve?" And she's gonna love it and think everybody else is weird. So I'm really happy for her because that's, like, a really cool thing that you guys are doing. Um, and I feel like the complete opposite where, we had to have a really big conversation with, my partner's side of the family because, we call her Nana. Nana really wanted to have Christmas at her house, but her house is 2.5 hours away from everybody.
Mm,
We all live in the same city, they don't, and we have 2 kids and 2 adults, so there's 4 of us, and then his brother has 2 kids and 2 adults, so there's 4 of them,
mm,
and their house it's not small, but it's has
no.
4 bedrooms, and it's just, like, not enough space, and so we had to really be like, "You're not getting Christmas," and I feel terrible, like, I think every parent grows up thinking like, "Okay, now I'm gonna have my grandkids at my
Mhm.
house," and we're like, "No, you aren't."
Yeah.
And I feel bad, for sure about it because we are gonna end up going to my parents' house, but we have established that his brother gets Christmas Eve, so we go to his family's house just for dinner before they go to church, and
Mhm.
then we stay home on Christmas Eve, and we open presents on Christmas Day, just the 4 of us, as, like, Santa's coming
Mm,
and all that stuff, and then we drive to my parents' house and stay the night. And then Nana gets us for the weekend. So we do end up going to see them, it's just not on Christmas Day, and so it makes me feel bad because I feel like a lot of the joy is taken out when you're, like, not on the day. I know everybody's like, "It
yeah,
doesn't matter," but I think it does.
yeah,
And so I feel for her on that for sure because it's not what I would want for her if I was
mm,
her. So, it's just one of those expectations because I'm a little bit of a people pleaser where I'm like,
mm,
I don't know how to make everybody happy in the situation, and so unfortunately, it's gotta be my partner's mom instead of my mom that's
yeah,
unhappy.
yeah. I definitely feel like, I mean, having a child now, you just like kind of grow up with even like in your own family, but like things that you watch on TV of like, oh, Christmas, all of the families are all together in one house every single year. And in reality, when, like, for example, my mom lives in a whole different state and my sister lives 4 hours away and Nick's family lives an hour and a half away, like, it's like we're not all around the corner. Would love that, but it's just not reality. And so I think that sat in, like, when we were really talking about it, like, "Oh, this is not gonna be someone is always gonna be missing out on something." Like,
Mhm.
Naya will probably not see my mom for Thanksgiving very often. So I think navigating that holiday wise is a challenge, but I'm trying to remind myself that like any point in time that Naya is with family during some type of holiday is all that matters. And I'm sorry if it's not the person who wants that holiday, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But as long as she is happy and as long as she is feeling, like, connected with her family, then, like, that's something I also have to let go of. Like, it's not gonna line up perfect every year, but I also can't stress myself out trying to make it do so.
Right. Exactly,
Yeah.
for sure. And I do think that another thing that we're like trying to figure out is like expectations when it comes to gifts.
Mhm.
We're on like the minimalist side when it
Mm.
comes to toys and everything. We try not to overload because I think it overwhelms me and it overwhelms my partner with a lot of toys out. I don't know, and I'm sure it like will trickle down to my kids being overwhelmed, but honestly, I think the real reason is because we just like don't want all these toys in our house. And so we've always done a very, very big Christmas in our house with my parents, and I've seen it at my partner's parents' house as well. And so we really do have to like figure out, okay, you can only get X, Y, and Z gift. And they cannot just get everything. Unless it's for, and I always say, unless it's for grandma and grandpa's house. If you want to get it and it's
Right.
like a grandma and grandpa thing and it's going to stay at grandma and grandpa's house, you can get whatever you want. That
Mm.
doesn't bother me. But I do think that there's a little bit of like, I don't want my kid to be the one like, oh, I'm going to go to school and tell all the kids that I got absolutely everything I wanted when it's like not everybody's getting that. And it's so unnecessary because they'll play with it for 2 seconds and then they move on to something
Mm.
else. They never see it again. So that's one of the expectations I've been really trying to make sure that mostly my parents understand.
Yeah, gifts are hard in general. So we also don't like to have a lot of toys out. We do a toy rotation. So to make sure that the kid is not just bouncing from toy to toy to toy, we only have like 5 to 6, sometimes 7 of the same toys out every single day for like a week or 2. And then we rotate that toy out, and so they stay in her closet. So then she just like it's better for learning imaginative play, pretend play, things like that, versus like you just getting bored and then moving on to the 50th toy that you have out. So we also don't like to have a lot of toys out. We also don't use battery operated toys. So we do like a lot of wooden toys or like, right now she's doing like, you know, babies, stacking things like that. I think that's our biggest thing is like
Mm-hmm.
getting a
Yeah.
whole bunch of battery operated toys that like I don't want anyone to waste their money, to be quite honest. Like we're not going to use it. And like this sounds so bad and we are grateful for like what our family gets us, but we create a registry to make it just very simple. The
Mm-hmm.
registry just doesn't get so basically, I feel like we try to set that expectation with our family members. Sometimes it just doesn't get listened to because, they get excited and they understand that. They're like, oh, Naya would love this. And then it's like a toy that is so bright and so loud and so just extravagant. And it's like, I probably loved that as a kid, but I also didn't know what I know now. Research shows that when you have toys that are like battery operated, they light up, they make a lot of sound. It's very overstimulating. And so the kiddo doesn't have the chance to have that imaginative play because the toy is doing the work for them versus them trying to imagine what that toy would do. So really like digging into their play skills, really like building on top of those skills. And so when you have a toy that's kind of like in your face, for lack of better words, it kind of hinders them from that growth. And so when me and Nick had Naya and we started talking about toys, that was something we agreed on was like, we are not going to do battery operated toys for that reason, because we want to make sure that she is building on those skills that we know that she can build on versus just like letting the toy do its own thing and she's just staring at it overstimulated. So I feel like that's hard. And so we also, same thing as kind of what you were saying, we don't want a ton of toys in general and then a ton of toys that like are not going to get used. So I feel like we've been trying to set that expectation even from like, a while ago, but I am interested to see how Christmas is going to go and if we're going to have
Yeah.
to respectfully decline anything or if we're just going to take it and just deal with it later on. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
funny about the battery operated. We're the same way for
Mm.
the first year of Abel's life,
Mhm.
and then he was 14 months when the second Christmas came along. We got this toy. It is a Fisher Price toy that is a recycling truck, and there's no off button. I just can't. I don't understand. I know every song by heart, every single song. And it's just like you put, because we do toy rotation as well, you put it away. And if the box is, because I put it in my basement, the box is like pushed, like you can hear it go, because it's a recycling truck.
Why would they do that? Why would
I
Fisher
don't,
Price do that?
I don't know why there's no off button. Because we have a lot of Fisher Price little people sets, so it's kind of
Mhm.
like the doll set, but for Fisher Price. And it does have some songs, but it doesn't really do much other than that. But you can turn the songs off, and so it's so weird to me that like this one truck does not have an off button. So
I
anyway,
need them
agreed. Have
why
you
they
agree
did
on
that.
that?
So it doesn't die ever? Just
No, I did put new batteries in it because Abel loved it, but
so that's fair.
still, they should have an off button
Should have
at
an off
least.
button. Yes. Yes. It's really hard, like, in general to find toys nowadays that are not like, "Na, na, 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 na," and then, like,
Mhm.
flashing. I'm making flashing things if you can't see me. It's so hard to find toys like that, and
Mhm.
which I think that's why it's fair, like, if an in-law or someone gets that toy, like, it seems exciting, it seems like she's gonna love it, and it is really hard to find more chill toys nowadays, but, yeah, so, I don't know. I feel like that's something early on, me and Nick are trying to, like, have set those expectations with our families, but sometimes family just doesn't listen, to be
Yeah,
honest.
most of the time, most of the time they don't listen, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We love them, right?
Yes, we do. We do. I mean, my mom literally tells me, quite literally to my face, I'm getting it anyway. No matter like
Yeah.
outfits, she's like,
Mhm.
I'm getting it anyway. And I'm like, at least you're honest.
Yeah, hey, at least
Well,
you're honest.
whatever.
I do think actually one of the really good thing to get for gifts for for our children are experiences. It's
Mm,
a little difficult because sometimes people don't want to spend as much money as experiences are, but I do know, like, for grandparents, they tend to want to spend a lot of money. So I'm like, if you're going to spend a lot of money on toys that we are not going to use or only use for a little bit, you should use that money for like a zoo membership, or we have a children's museum here for science. So we always like get that membership because it's expensive and that'd be great. We have the art museum. There's so many good experiences that give you an annual membership for like a little bit over $100 that I know you're going to spend anyway.
mhm.
So I think that that's always like a really great way to be like, instead of buying us toys that make noise, buy me a membership somewhere. Once Abel started walking, we were like, we need to get out of the house all the time.
Mhm.
And so it was like such a great idea for us to just have any membership possible that we could.
No, that's a really, really good idea. And I don't even think I don't think me and Nick have even talked about that. Like the aquarium right around the corner, not around the corner, but like 15 minutes away. So
Right.
yeah, that would be good to just have a membership of that. So that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah, and we have like, I'm sure other people have it in different locations as well, but we have like indoor play places.
Mm.
Ours here is called Mommy Land, but like there are other places like that that you can get memberships to as well. We have like a digger place where you can just play in sand.
Hmm.
So like there's like so many different types of experiences that you can get monthly memberships. Swim lessons are also really great. Those like music classes, swim lessons, so many different experiences that you can ask people for instead of Fisher Price toys that don't turn off.
No, the swim lessons is a good one too, because we haven't done that yet. And we were gonna do it like we were gonna do the infant, we were gonna do all the things, but
Yeah.
that's a whole nother topic. Um another thing too, like with holidays, I feel like with social media, it makes it I don't know. Like, I feel like even I have to talk to myself and be like, "She does not need all of these things." Like, I'm like, "Oh, like, uh, a ball pit, a tent, a tunnel, a play kitchen," like, all of those things are nice to haves, and eventually we'll get there, but she doesn't need to have it today on Christmas Day. And I feel like social media kind of makes you feel that way where it's like, you post all of the gifts and you post your kids like opening them up and then you feel like you have to do that. And I'm saying this to myself, but I'm also saying it to moms that are listening is like whatever you do for your kid and whatever you took the time to figure out and the money that you spent is enough. Like
Hmm.
whatever you did is enough. And I feel like moms need that reminder. I mean, dads too, but like parents, we need that reminder that like It is one day. It's one Christmas day. We don't need to go all out. And also feel like it's a good way to raise kids too, especially now kind of in the climate that we live in, that like you don't have to have all of the gifts and it's okay to earn some of the things that you want in life. So just wanted to call that.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And I do think, you know, kind of on the vein of like maybe we shouldn't overexpend or shouldn't buy into the overconsumption that you know, that we see online. Kids love stickers and they love temporary tattoos. And you can get those at Dollar Tree. So like I just like I'm telling you the way that my oldest plays with stickers and wants to just keep getting more tattoos put on him, we could it hours of play. And I
Mhm.
know that we've had way more expensive toys purchased for us where he is not played with for hours.
Like his telescope.
I'm telling you, like, he's never really I think he's still too young for it, so it just sits there. But yes, like the telescope and there's a racetrack that was purchased for us that it's too fast for him, so he's just like, "I don't know what to do with this." So, like, he doesn't play with that very much, and I know that's probably one of the most expensive ones that we've gotten.
Yeah.
But yet he will put stickers all over his body or on paper, which is what I told him. You're allowed to put stickers on your body or paper. If I see a sticker anywhere else, everything's getting thrown in the trash. And I'm not joking. We have thrown a lot of toys away because he does not listen to something. So we're like, well, it's going in the trash. We told you, and gone.
Poof, gone.
Yep.
I agree with the Dollar Tree though, because when I was treating OT at my first job, I was doing home therapy. And so I expensed everything. I didn't have like a budget, whatever. It was all on me. So I would just go to the dollar store and all of the kids loved whatever I found in there. And so I feel like that is a good call out. And I also would say, because you mentioned like, you know, don't get whatever high priced item that got purchased for you guys, that like it's too fast and like they maybe didn't know that. Just ask the parents. Like I feel like I'm so big on like if you really don't know what to get Naya or like anyone, whatever, just ask. Like for Abel, I'm literally like, what do you guys want? I don't need to surprise him. Like it's gonna be surprised
Right.
no matter what. Like, please just tell me what you want. Send me the exact item and I'm gonna order it. And I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, I wanna like surprise you that I thought of, your kid. It's okay. Just text me.
Yeah.
Just ask.
I'll ask surprise.
Alright. Yeah, I will ask surprise. She will be surprised, well, not right now, but whatever.
Right.
It's okay. So, like, anyone who's buying presents for their friends' kids, just send a text.
Mhm.
What are you looking for? And then you're not wasting your money. So, there's that.
Right. Exactly. I also would say, kind of sorry, a little bit different subject. As a mom, don't forget that you need a gift too. So
Mhm.
if there's something you want, I personally wouldn't rely on my partner to get it for me. I'm going to get it myself and put it under the tree. He can get me whatever he wants. I'm happy for that. But like, if I'm going to want something, I'm like, you know what? I just really want this very nice XYZ. It's good. I'm buying it and putting it under the tree from me to me.
That's from Queen Tempest to Queen Tempest is how I read
You
that.
know.
But yeah, that is so, like, claps, just claps because it's so true. I'm terrible at buying stuff for myself. My sister is the one who texts me. I'll be like, "Go buy yourself something nice," like, anytime I ever get a bonus or something like that, because 'cause I'm usually the one to put it in some type of savings or invest or whatever. And she's like,
Mhm.
"Buy yourself something nice." I'm terrible at it. And now that I have Naya, I just use it to buy something for her. But it's also funny now that we're talking about gifts because it just made me think about I was literally driving the other day, like 3 weeks ago, and I get to a stoplight, and my mom had just, like, asked me, like, what I wanted for Christmas, and I'm, like, thinking about it, and then I, like, freeze, and I'm like, "Shit, I'm a mom. I have to buy gifts for a child." 3 weeks ago, like, Christmas has been coming. We know when Christmas is every single year, and it literally hit me. I was like, "I have to be Santa? What is
Mm.
this?" And I like, why it took this long for me to realize. So, there's that. So, anyone that didn't realize that, that's a mom, yes, you're Santa now, because I clearly needed that reminder. But, yeah, just had to, like, talk about that because I was, like, shook that I am now Santa Claus, but it's fine.
I love that. I also think what we really should close with in this is Are you gonna do Elf on the Shelf?
This year?
No, just in general in life.
Yes, I'm gonna do it in yes. Next year, I think yeah, she'll be close to 2.
Mhm.
Yes, I am gonna do Elf on the Shelf, and I wasn't because I was like, "Oh my god, every day I have to think about something," but then I learned that they come in, like, packages, like, it'll give you the idea.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
One of my coworkers, that's what she bought, and so she was like, "Yeah, it just gives me the idea so I don't have to think about it," and
Mhm.
yeah. So now that I know that, I will be doing Elf on the Shelf. Are you doing it this year? Because now it's
I'm not doing it ever.
ever?
Yeah.
I
The
thought you
good
were gonna
thing
go
though
into an explanation and you just said no, and that's it.
No, I won't be doing Elf on the Shelf, although I am I feel bad because, like, I'm a very loving mother, but there are some things I just, like, don't waver on. Like, Adam is really good at, like, doing, like, Santa's real or Santa's real and blah, 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 and all the nice things, which is very I wouldn't be like, Santa's not real, but he does, like, a really
Santa's
good, like
fake.
yeah, but he does, like, a
God.
really good job of, like, hyping it up, and, I do not. And so it's one of those things where I'm like, this little elf is not going to make me have to do more work after the kids go to sleep. Maybe I'll change my mind once, they're a little bit older and I'm sleeping through the night every night. Because
Mm.
right now I'm just like, I couldn't imagine doing another thing. But I do think that if he comes home and is like, "Where's my elf?" Because I've heard that that happens where people are like, "I
Mm.
have to do this because my kid is, like, upset that he doesn't have an elf when everybody else at school has elves," then I will do it.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
won't be happy about it, but I will do
That is motherhood. So here
it.
we
Right.
won't be happy about it, but I'll do it. Yeah. You made a good point of like, you're not sleeping in the night. So, like, if I were to be pregnant or have a child at that time, which I don't think I will, but if
Mhm.
I am, I will not be doing it. I'm sorry, but
Yep.
we'll talk about it next year.
Exactly. I guess I should never say never because I know that's gonna backfire on me with motherhood, but likely not.
So, that's fair. 98% chance of not, but it's okay.
Exactly.
Well, I hope everyone has such good holidays and time with their families and their little ones and just cherish each other, love each other, and, you know, just know that expectations change every year.
Exactly. Yes. So I do also hope you guys have a very happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. We are also taking a break, a 2-week break. So we'll be back the first week of January or the second week, depending on how we record it. So we will see you in the new year, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, New Year. Crazy things. We were pregnant this time last year. Anyway, yes. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Two moms, too much coffee, tired eyes but hearts so full. Thanks for tuning in with us. Hope you brewed a cup for you. The morning light is shining bright. The world outside